Hey guys, Chris here from TD Motion. So we want to talk about this Gen 2 Coyote engine and what the benefits are of this, maybe over the Gen 3 and Gen 4. Now, of course, the Gen 2 doesn't have the power output of the Gen 3 or Gen 4, but there are advantages of it. And why we use the Gen 2 mostly for the early Broncos is for a few reasons. For one, well, maybe a little bit cheaper in cost. For the convenience, it'll talk directly with the 6R80 6-speed without having an external controller with it, and there's a few other things that we do to it as well in order to make it a much easier transition. So just maybe going on the top here, some of the things that are removed and added to make the install easier. If we zoom in a little bit here, you can see some of these the heater hoses, for instance. These are replaced, the big black steel ones, with aluminum billet ones on each side. And if you're not running heat, well, you could just run a hose from one side to the other, so you have just a closed loop there. That's for one. You have the evaporator delete here, so that cleans it up. That's not necessary. The control pack controls that. You still have your vacuum port here. This is added. This is a little coolant bleeder switch. This helps to burp the air out of the system. So it's good when you're filling the cooling system. You can just open that up and it lets all the air out of the system. Very, very nice way of going. You got the PCV hose hooked up here. All the pulley drives, accessories, AC power steering alternator are in place. Gives you extra space, being that you relocate the power steering. Well, it actually gets added, power steering, and then you have the alternator on the opposite side. If you go over here on the bottom driver's side, maybe a little hard to see, but we take off this aluminum cooler, oil cooler. Takes up a lot of space, especially in resto mod projects, Broncos, and we just have a smaller billet aluminum piece that gets bolted directly to the block. So it saves a lot of space. In situations, you could actually put if you're going to run the oil cooler, it'll run even tighter, or run with a tighter fitting filter. A couple other pieces here, maybe just going back towards the top, is this H-pipe. So always provide that H-pipe, and what it does is more or less for the heater hose. So you have a continuous flow going from one side to this other side of the cylinder head in order to keep the flow going. You're not overheating and not getting the engine into limp mode. So do provide that with it. Going back here, it's just we're gonna back here again, sorry, but this is just a little oil pressure valve. It has a couple other fittings on there, so you can tap that in for oil pressure. So very convenient, and that's supplied as well. This engine already has the low profile oil pan, so it'll fit into the Broncos. Most Broncos retrofitting with this Coyote will have maybe a 2 or 3 inch body lift, so it does work with that oil pan. Over here on the other side, we have just some of this stuff plugged in, and I'm just going to do a general overview because there's a lot to cover and not necessarily my expertise anyway. But if you look towards the back of the engine, we have the plug-in. This is the direct plug-in for the 6R80, and as I said, for the 6-speed in the Coyotes, for the Broncos, it works great for a short wheel-based car, truck like that. So you have the ECU here, and again, just a quick demonstration. It looks very intimidating. Look at all the spaghetti wires here, but you just have the main plug-in into the ECU, and then this off of here, the PCM will just go into the fuse box, and then you have everything else here is labeled: mass airflow sensor, fuel pump, starter, all these other fittings, and then you have maybe these blunt leads. This might be the hardest part of it all, is just wiring up the remainder of these wires. But once that's done, all these will plug in directly to where the directions tell you, and you'll be able to get this engine up and running without a tune. Of course, it will help to have a tune once it's all said and done, but it's all here, all available through tdmotion.com. Please subscribe to our page. Thanks for watching.